has been Britain's best-selling super mini for many years. And this year I decided to buy one. I decided to buy the new generation Mark 8 Ford Fiesta. It's finished here in chrome blue. It's in titanium spec, and I've gone for the 1 litre Ecoboost 100 horsepower option. And I'm going to tell you what it's like to drive and what I think of it after I've now done 5,000 miles. The Fiesta's always been a practical car. This one is no exception. The boot is really big, and there's storage under the floor in this particular model, which is one of the massive benefits. It means I can put bits and pieces under there, out of sight and out of way. I've bought this Fiesta plastic boot mat here, and that means that I've been to the tip a couple of times. You know, I've grown when we went mountain biking, got to throw all our wet kit in there, and when I come home, you're just able just to hose it out, wipe it out, and your boot's all nice and clean. Obviously the back seats fold down in a 60-40 way split, as in most cars, and they fold reasonably flat, but they're not fully flat. But then this car doesn't really need to because the boot is so big. But yeah, the boot space has been really, really good. I've been really pleased with that. And you've also got some sort of tidies and hooks on the side so you can sort of hold everything down. Yeah, I've been really, really pleased with that. We're in the back of the Fiesta, and this driver's seat is actually in the position for me, and I'm 6'2", and as you can see, I've got plenty of knee and headroom in here, which is great for someone of my height. You can fit 5 people in the Fiesta, and if I just clamber my foot over this transmission tunnel, you sit a bit higher up, but I reckon you could get 3 in here for sort of short distance, but 4 in here is really comfortable. Yeah, seriously pleased with the back seat quality of this car. The only quirk is there's no Jesus handles, no grab handles in the back, which is a bit of a shame, and there's none in the front either, which does surprise me slightly. But I think we need to jump in the front, which is where all the magic happens. The best seat in the house, the driver's seat, and I have to say, I've only ever driven 2 cars in my life. Well, if you count on the road, it's only 2. This in a Peugeot 208, and I've also driven Dad's car off-road, his Cougar, and so I haven't got much to compare to, but the driving position of this car is really nice. There's plenty of steering adjustment. There's reek and reach in the steering wheel, and that means you can either get the steering wheel nice and close to you or far away, depending how you like it. The gearbox is lovely. It's a 6-speed manual, and it's really nice. I sometimes, when I'm going from 5th to 4th, go to 6th, as it is quite close ratio, but there's plenty of feel in that gearbox. Clutch is really nice. It's getting lighter. Obviously this car's down to over 5,000 miles, so it is getting lighter. Nice manual handbrake, that's really nice. And then in here we've got the usual air conditioning, climate control, all that kind of thing. And it's got Ford's quick clear windscreen, which is absolutely fantastic on a cold morning, and the car heats up really nice and quickly. Here we've got Ford's OK Sync 3 system. I don't tend to use the Sync 3 loads. I tend to use Apple CarPlay plugged in via my iPhone. And yeah, it's alright. The sat-nav on the Sync 3 system's okay. It's not the best, but they have updated the Sync 3 from Dad's, so the graphics are nicer. But it has got DAB radio, FM, AM radio, and they've obviously got Ford's amazing Pass app, which is actually really good. You can track where the car is, unlock it, lock it, check how much fuel you've got in it, all the service intervals, everything like that. That's a seriously good app. Storage in here is plentiful. There's storage there, and in the doors. The door pockets are really full and really good. And the seats are really comfortable. You've obviously got height adjustable headrests. I just wish they went up a little bit further, as I'm on the highest, and I could do with going up a notch higher. There's obviously height adjustment in the driver's seat. Titanium doesn't come with height adjustment in the passenger seat, which is a shame, as they have sat it quite high up if I'm sat in the passenger seat. Obviously electric adjustment in the wing mirrors, and they are heated, which is nice. And also automatic sort of lights and wipers, and they're really nice. Obviously full LED, the LED lights and the LED running lights, they work really nicely and they do a really nice job. That's enough talking, let's get out for a drive. get into the car, firstly, do excuse the sunglasses. It's a gorgeous day out today. It's about 5 degrees and it's very nice and sunny, so do excuse those because it's very sunny. Anyway, so the Fiesta. Obviously, like I said, I've got the 1 litre engine and we're just poodling along in 3rd gear at the moment at 2,000 RPM at 30 mile an hour down this sort of single track road. And as you can hear, this is a really bumpy road. There's not much road noise at all. It's got Continental tyres on it and they're actually reasonably quiet, and they're really nice. It's got the 17-inch alloys, and it's quite quiet in here, especially when I've often not got any music on or anything like that at the moment, and it's quite quiet. My only complaint is anything below 2,000 RPM, there's no power. So if I just slow down now, this is 30 miles an hour, this is 1,400 RPM, foot flat to the floor, nothing, 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 nothing. That's 40 miles an hour and that's 2,000 RPM. So it is quite laggy below 2,000 RPM, but once you get above 3,800 RPM, 4,000 RPM, it really goes for it, and it holds power all the way up to 6,500 RPM when it hits the rev limiter. I chose this particular engine because I didn't want a diesel. I don't do enough miles to warrant a diesel, but more importantly, I didn't want the very, very high powered engine. This here demonstrates the maneuverability. I've got this is because it's titanium. It's got the rear parking sensors on it, and you can just hear them bonging there. Just to let some people through. But yeah, they're really helpful, especially when I was learning to drive. Very helpful. Yeah, the engine's really nice. They also do the higher powered 125 PS and 140 PS engine. But to be honest, I don't think you need it. There's plenty enough power in this car, and hopefully next year I'll be towing with this car, and I've got no problems that this car will pull a ton caravan with the power it's got, because it's got a lot of power in it. Now, generally driving the car, it's a relaxing drive. I've driven this car down to Bournemouth, which is about, what, hour and 45, 2 hours, depending what time of day you go. I've driven it down to Exeter. I've driven it up to North Somerset. I've driven it quite far, actually, in 5 weeks of me driving. And I've really enjoyed driving it. It's it's comfortable. You know, my probably favourite feature of the car is its cruise control. That's really nice, and its speed limiter. I don't use the speed limiter loads, but because you just don't need to. But the cruise control is fantastic. The infotainment system, where it's actually sat in the car, is nice and easy to get to, which is always nice. So you haven't got to keep your eyes off the road, and you can basically control everything through the system here. Play 102.5.
Tuning to FM 102.5.
I've done that because I know it won't pick anything up, because we don't want any copyright strikes, but it's quite handy. You can obviously call people, which is cool. Means you don't have to take your hands off the wheel. You can change the radio station, sat nav, all that kind of thing. And Apple CarPlay, if you have that up there, is really simple to navigate, as the buttons are really nice and big. And that's why I really like this car, because a lot of modern cars now, they're all touchscreen, sort of touch buttons for this and that annoys me. It really annoys me, because you don't need it to all be touchscreen. And this doesn't have touchscreen, and for me, that is very helpful indeed. So we're just coming out onto a national speed limit bit of road that I know, and we're at 30 miles an hour in 3rd gear, 2,000 RPM, and I'll just floor it, and it picks up really nice. That's 4th gear at 3,000 RPM, and we're at doing 50 already. The cornering is really nice. Dad's told me it holds the bends quite nicely. It's a nice bit of straight road, so we'll just open it up now, up to 60, and that's 5th gear, and we're at 60, and it's really, really, really smooth. You know, it holds the road really nicely. On my way to college, there's a nice twisty B roads, and it holds on those really nicely. So I've talked about the things I really like about this car. Is there anything I don't like about it? There's a few. Everything in here is piano black, which when the day I picked it up was absolutely lovely. They cleaned it, but I've now had this car since May. It's now November, and it shows the scratches up, but that's with all piano black, unfortunately. So that's one thing, unfortunately. There's no height adjustment on the passenger seat, which for me is a bit strange, especially as this is it's not a bottom of the range model, but it's not a top of the range. You know, titanium's kind of middle of the road. And Mo had a Mini a few years ago, and that was a bottom of the range, and that had height adjustment for the passenger seat. So that's something I'm not a big fan of, really. Along with the things I don't like about this car, there's one thing that does really annoy me. That's the auto wipers. Now, auto wipers are a great idea, and when they work, they're good. However, in this car, they're rubbish. They are too slow when it's absolutely hammering it down. They are too fast when it's not raining very hard. They're just woeful. They're really not good. Auto lights aren't bad, but the wipers just aren't up to the cut, which is a real shame. But on the whole, am I glad I bought this car? Yes. Because when I bought this car, I was looking at Skoda's Fabia, Suzuki Swift, Vauxhall's Corsa, VW Polo, Seat Ibiza. I was looking at loads of cars, and it just happened to be that this particular car was the best price. This was a stock car, so I got a really good deal on it from Brakes Ford, who we buy all our Fords from. If you live in the southwest, highly recommend checking Brakes out, and speak to Bruce. Bruce is really good down there. We buy all our cars from him, and he's really nice, proper good chap down there. So highly recommend Brakes. So that's my review of my Ford Fiesta. Hopefully next year I might fit a tow bar to this car, and we might well turn it into a tow kart, so that'll be quite cool. So if you've enjoyed this video, remember to give us a thumbs up. If you have any comments or questions, pop them in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, take care, bye now, bye.
I've been wondering about you. They said that just one look and I'd get caught